Do you love cakes? Do you love events? Do you love excitement? Do you love glitz and glam? Then this is the show for you. Welcome to Bake That Cake with Dripples. My name is Style Okene. Sit back as we get right into it. An all-time client, Class Event, who is one of the trailblazers in the event industry, came to us with a bride-to-be named Jessica. Now, Jessica wanted a traditional box with some wrappers and coral beads and a hat on it for her traditional marriage.
So we're looking at a box, but she doesn't want the regular box. She's from Delta State. Her husband is Rivers. He's Ikwere. So I want us to infuse that traditional touch to it. So maybe we can have that red cap, that red, black and white cap that they put the Ikwere cap on it. Or we use her outfit. She has like mint, she's wearing mint green. Her husband is wearing brown.
Okay, probably coral beads around.
Coral beads, yes, coral beads, because Delta State they wear coral beads, River State they wear coral beads, so we'll have coral beads everywhere.
What's the theme for the trad? Like, what's the color like?
More nude,
nude.
Yes.
Like
brownish.
Now, Jessica made it so clear that she didn't want a regular box cake. She wanted us to come up with a new design, something very unique that will incorporate both culture, since she's from Delta State and her husband to be from Ikwere in River State. I would like to have a box. We'll work with calm colors, maybe green, not the sharp green, a very deep green, have some browns around it. I think instead of that white wrapper, because of the base of the cake,
what would the base be like?
Do something too bright on top.
What would the base be like?
It will be green coming up like ombre green, and then maybe the brownish dusted kind of, so it looks a little bit antique. Okay, and then we'll have folded wrappers on top. So since the husband is wearing like brown,
brown.
She's doing like a mint green, so we could play with gold, silver, embellishment on the wrappers. Okay, and then maybe have that Ikwere cap, that soft cap. Okay, we'll just maybe put it on top of one of the wrappers.
Are you going to do a sketch for us?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so we'll have the lid. And then I would like to have some molds. Then we're going to have lots of coral beads. Lots of coral.
Should we play with walking stick or leave walking stick out?
Take it out of it.
It's always saying that it's not a chip, so it doesn't really.
So take out walking stick.
Take out walking stick. So we'll have lots of coral beads in different shades. The polished one, the normal, the one that looks so real.
Yeah.
So now this is a very rough sketch, not like it's going to be the exact. Now these molds are not looking real here.
This is just a sketch to give us an idea.
Even like it's going to look like the whole vintage.
Yes, the vintage antique kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
not the regular wooden. I think is it wooden or something?
Like crackle, normally wooden, like that crackle effect kind of. That's not what she wants.
That's not what. Yeah. Because I feel like almost every traditional wedding, the cakes always look like that.
The same.
Yeah.
This is going to be a new one. We've not done this before, so it's specially for you.
So we haven't talked about the size of the cake.
Okay, it's going to be 16 by 10 rectangle. And then we'll have
that's fine.
Now we're not having that usual wrapper, this way. So you know how mamas fold wrappers this way.
The rolling,
kind of, so that you have that effect. We want to see that front there. That's what we're going to have in front here. So this is a rough sketch, not too exact, but I have it in my head. I don't know if you can see it the way I'm seeing it. We have different eyes, but I think it will come out really nice. Do we do fruit cake on this? And then for your wedding cake, we have
the actual
it all
thing.
mixed. We have the fruit cake,
so.
and then we have those other flavors your husband would like. I think we should do that. All right. So are we good with this design?
Yeah, I think it will come out really nice.
I'm okay with it, but she has the final say.
Okay.
No, I think it will come out really nice.
All right. So we are starting up with this gorgeous traditional marriage cake for our exceptional bride, Jessica. Event planned by Class Events. It's going to be an antique, beautiful box in beige color and having the base in green. We also had this lovely folded wrappers resting on top of this cake with lots of coral beads hanging from different angles of the cake, and we had the Ikwere hat dropping from the other end of the cake. If you're familiar with the Niger Delta Ikwere men, for their events they wear this lovely white red and black cap for events. This design is new and exciting with so many elements to play with. Tasks like this is what we love to undertake. So guys, sit back as we get decorated. So we had 4 sheets of fruit cakes already layered and properly shaped, ready to be decorated. We went ahead to buttercream all the sides, all the angles, being careful with the edges not to break them. And now we rolled out 4 sheets of white fondant, which we placed around the 4 corners of this cake, cutting out the excess from the side, and then went ahead again to place the top surface and cutting out the excess. So just let it overlap. This is so much. Go ahead. So yeah, we're going to now go underneath and cut off the excess neatly, and then later on we'll come back with a beige color and then we'll start decorating. We did the buttercream again around all the edges to prepare for the second panel. So at this point, after the buttercream, we went ahead to roll out our 4 panels in beige color. See, that green is too light. Add some more green and then add brown to it so it's not too sharp. By the end of the day, we're still going to dust, but I want it deeper. Let's start with the side. So placing around the 4 angles of this cake, cutting out excess from the corners to prepare for the next stage. What we're doing here is working with these 2 sharp edges, okay, left and right, to pin together, and then we just cut out neatly. So we can still retain the edges looking really sharp and clean. Yeah, beautiful. So we need it really crisp and very sharp. So we're doing same to all the angles, and then when we're done, we'll come back to cover the top. And then we went ahead to place the top, cut off the excess as well, and with the help of the smoother, we kept smoothing the edges to make sure we have a clean, sharp, crisp edge. So yeah, we're going to do same thing round the edges, and then we'll come back to cut out the lid. Now, in creating the lid for the box, we had our ruler, and measuring from the top of this box, we had to measure 1.5 inches from the top, dotting it around the 3 edges, just the 3 edges, because actually you open your box from this way, and then you have the back not marked. Later on, we place the ruler to connect those dots and to mark it to make it look more realistic. So now we are creating the green patch for the base of the cake. In creating it and getting it so accurate, we had to measure 16 inches width with 6 inches high, okay? And in getting it so accurate, we had to transfer this measurement onto a plain sheet, having it in rectangle, and in trying to get a perfect and clean V at the middle, we had to fold this paper together, cutting from the top to the middle. And when we're done, we had to place it on the cake to see how clean and neat it looks. This is fine.
This should be thin. Should thin.
No, it should be thin. I don't want it thick. So as we are cutting this, we are rolling out our green fondant so it dries up properly. We want it to set a bit before we place our template and then cut out to attach to the sides of the cake. Now this is going for both sides, here and the other side, and then this one is for the front. Then went further on to roll out our green fondant, let it set a bit, so in the process of trying to transfer this green onto the cake, we don't have it tearing or breaking, okay? So after that, we transfer this template straight direct on the fondant, cutting out the 3 sides neatly. We went ahead to wet the sides of the cake where this green will rest on, and then carefully transferring this green fondant direct on the 3 sides, cutting out the edges and massaging it clean so we have this crisp edge, and then to prepare for the next decor. Yep, and we're done with the green. So finally, I'll take out this excess. Yeah, and this is done. And the next, we're going to get our molds. We're working on molds now to see how we can get our details to embellish this area so we don't have this sharp thing here. We want to have some nice scrolls, you know, looking really nice. Have we done anyone? See, when you are bringing it out of the mold, be careful. If you let it sag, you will lose the shape. The thing is, if you don't put in your fondant into the mold properly and you don't bring it out nicely, it will change the shape and you just lose the whole beauty of the mold, okay? So we went ahead to create molds for the cake. We did the beige color mold to place on the lids of the 3 corners of this box, And then further on, went on to create more molds in green color to place around the V corners, okay? The V, to bring out the vintage look of this. You know what to do now? See, you make it round, then seal it up. You don't go sit like that, you go long, see? Like as if they fold them. Just drop. So, you know, when you wear the cap, it's long. That's why we need that thing a little bit longer. So no thicker one. Can we place, can you get a thicker one for me? So get something high, a little higher than this. So if you have the second one of this, bring the second one, we'll merge together. I want this thing here and then drop. If you place that hat on that short styrofoam, our cap is going to be short. Now we want the cap long. If you can remember how they wear it, and you know you have it extra falling. So we want something a little bit long to make it look realistic. And now our molds are ready for this beautiful antique looking box. We have them spread out here. It's going to be a gradual process. I must make sure we get the edges very well. So this part too, we must make sure these two are touching. Yes, I like it like this. So we just keep attaching to see how we will build something meaningful from these molds. I like what I'm saying. I think this will make more sense here. And then this one here. So basically what we are doing is trying to connect the molds. Yeah, but I think it's making sense here for me. That's the whole idea. I think it's coming out well. Come. Okay. This is looking really nice. So the same design we did here is what we're going to transfer to both sides. Later on, we'll go and make some dusting to bring out more of the details of this molds. Is this not too long? Let me see. Like your size here. Okay. Okay, so we'll curve this edge. We're not going to let this place sharp like this. So fold it. No, just fold immediately. We might cut from here, but I want it to look like this. Then make sure you have the same marking. Black, give that same kind of space. It might not be exact. Don't let it dry out quickly. I'm loving this box. We're done, I love this. Just wrap everything like this in that transparent so that it's not properly dry by the time I want to place it on the wrapper. I don't want the same one. I want some very long, okay? They're going to be longer because of the box. I don't want all the same size. Very long, so by the time we drop it, to just drip down. So we went ahead in creating our coral beads to make our box have that traditional look. Now to create the fusion of the two cultures together, we designed folded wrappers which we placed on the pre-made box. Is it 2 wrappers we are giving? Yes. 8 inches we'll do. This 10 inches, eh? Or let's do 9, 9. 9.
So that it will come out small, or 8.5.
8.5, 8.5. 8.5, then this one will be less. This one will be less, 7 inches.
7 is too big, it's too wide.
What the space now? This is 16 inches. We do 8 inches, it's too close. What do we do with all the space? That's why I say let us work with highest 15 inches. So 15 is what? 7.5 of 8. So let's have 9 inches or 8.5. 8.5. So by the time we add fondant, it will get to 8 and almost 9. So where's the 9? 8.5. Then this is 7.5, huh? We're about to work on our wrapper cake, which will be sitting directly on top of the box cake. Here we have a 10 inches square cake, which we had to reduce back to 8.5 by 7.5 inches. So it sits properly on the cake. We're going to be having 2 wrappers on it. We'll be carving this cake to have it look folded. First, I will take off this base so we can tuck in our fondant. And then we'll begin to work. This will be the corner of the wrapper, which will carve gently, taking out the sharp edges. So it's looking like a book already. No, this is too deep. This is proper green. We want it minty. Lighter. Lighter, yes. Don't add yellow, add white. Now, in creating these wrappers, we had 2 layers of sheet cakes, okay, placed together, and we had to cut the edges, okay, and the bottom neatly to make it look rounded. We went in between to bring out the grooves with the knife carefully, not to break any detail. Now, went ahead to crumb coat with buttercream, the top, and going underneath the carved wrapper, and then placing our rolled fondant, cutting out the excess around the edges, and with the help of the smoother, we had to tuck in this bottom to make it look really rounded. And carefully, with the dressing tool, went into the grooves to bring out more details. Remember how grandmas fold their wrappers and place on top and inside the box. And then we went further on in mixing our brown and black dust, in dusting around the edges of our molds on the box to make it look more vintage or more antique and ancient. I like to go in here as well. And as we walk, let's take this to fan out some excess. See how it goes. Yeah, I think I like what I'm saying. Just around the edges to highlight this design. Yeah, we want to tint, we want to dim the brightness of this. So I'm picking from the angle, this area into the middle, so we don't have it too bright. I'll come over here, do the same thing that I've done here on both sides. So now we're done dusting. Before we go on this part, we would like to fix the bead. So basically what we did was to dust the entire box. We were trying to go away from this very bright ivory, though our wrappers are coming up here. And next, we'll transfer this onto the final board, and then we'll add in more of our, the wrappers and every other detail. And later on, we transfer this box from the original board we worked on direct to the final board for the final embellishment. So to be on the safe side, let's go measure 3 inches from here. Almost 3 inches, so let's shift this way. Hold the box, please. Now, in creating our designs on the wrapper, we already had our pre-made lace. We had to dilute gold dust and clear alcohol together and then to paint the surface of this pattern. To make the wrapper tacky, we had to steam the cake with the steamer. Now, gently and carefully placing our lace patterns directly on the cake and tucking in the edges to make it really come to life. We went ahead to make sure we dual-rod our box to enable us carry those wrappers. We used the royal icing, around the dual rods and stacking the cakes one after the other. Okay, so we're done cutting out these lovely patterns from the lace. is another pattern, so we are creating something. This is fine. These were petals cut out from the full lace. I love this. Okay, yeah, this is beautiful. Okay, so this is almost done. She'll go and add more dredges, and then we'll be back with that lemon wrapper. So I'll be heading over to our brown wrapper. But we have some pre-made patches. We wrap them so tight so they don't dry out on us, since we're going to be folding some of them. Steam again, the same process round like we did with the other cake. While it's wet, we'll pick the front. I like this part as front. We just go immediately and begin to stick. I think this is good. Now, before we steam here, I think I'll do the surface painting on this particular cake. This extra. So just go gently on the surface to bring out the detail of this mold. Okay, that's fine. That wrapper is looking good. Gorgeous already. So yeah, this is good. And then we'll go again. And yeah, this cake is good to go. So yeah, this is ready. Just check out this beautiful wrapper. All right, so all our wrappers are ready and good to go on the box. This is my realizing. We're going to use this to match both cakes, okay? We're going to pop this here. Okay, and our wrappers. Shift that wrapper, shift this wrapper in. So this is done. We will still have to put another dowel rod here to secure the next wrapper. So these are the plastic dowels we'll use in connecting both cakes together. So we'll send this down straight to the base cake, and then to carry the next wrapper. This will help secure it as we transport it to the venue. This is the middle, I guess. So to be very sure, this is fine. So we'll send this down straight to help secure the top wrapper. Try this here. And then the brown one. Yeah, this is looking good. Went further on, placing the query cap on one angle, letting it drop on the corner. And for the final embellishment, we placed our coral beads in strategic positions to make the coral pop. This signifies royalty, it signifies wealth. The bride is going to be having lots of this today on her neck. I don't want to take away the beauty, the shine of this particular equerry cap. So we're not going to affix any coral beads around here. I want this to stand on its own. It's very unique, and this signifies our groom, okay? The cake is set, it's good to go, and now we'll be heading to the venue.
JYDE, you're a great guy, and what happened between us was really special, but it was just a one-night stand. I hope you don't hate me. Take care.
Pick up the phone, trying to reach you all day, just can't leave you alone, no. You know you're wrong, why you gonna go away like that, no, you got me strong.
Okay, so guys, we're up, ready and set to go to the venue, so let's get going.
Thing that you wanted me, after that last night with you on your knees, baby. Never ever felt nothing like this. You're mysterious, girl, that's the way I like it. I wanna love you all night and day. I wanna cure your Chris, I wanna be your doctor. Baby, let me be your doctor, yeah. All night and day. I wanna cure your Chris, I wanna be your doctor. Baby, let me be your doctor, yeah. Aphrodite, pretty mama, come ignite me. Don't you run from me, don't deny me. Give me all your loving.
You know, after setting up the cake, and the place looking so beautiful, I need to take my shot as well. So how do I look? Hey! Hey! I love it.
we're looking good.
Cause you gon' be the death of me, girl. Cause all the boys in the yard wanna sample your bum. You carry front, carry back, baby girl, where you come from? And I wanna cure your Chris. I wanna be your doctor. Baby, let me be your doctor. Yeah.
We left the bakery for the event. We got there and wow, beautiful, beautiful, everything looking so stunning. The bride was so excited to see her cake. She kept looking and smiling. The event planner couldn't stop taking pictures. These are the reviews that keeps us going. This was an adventure we were so excited to go through it. The outcome was fascinating. I couldn't have done it without the Dripples team. And it's a wrap for today's episode. Until next time, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe.